Question number 2 in our world inquiry is about AI's impact on you. Where and how has AI made a difference in your life and work? Maybe how has AI changed things for you? Or how has AI brought out the best in you personally or professionally? Can you highlight some of that for us?
Yes, and I would say it's taken 20 years of practice and theory to really understand what what we're about to discuss. And you and I talked about this last week, that appreciative inquiry is an operating system. And we played around with that, a personal operating system. And it's kind of like, it's human-based. And you and I were going back and forth about AI. And when you say AI, it's all about, people think of artificial intelligence. And you really got me thinking last week that artificial intelligence is everywhere. And it connects to power and it costs money. But what we're really talking about today is the AI, the appreciative inquiry that's human-based. It doesn't cost us anything. And if we can get it like a contagion, a positive contagion spread throughout the world, that teaching people the power of a generative question, the power of framing, there's principles that hold it in science, which is really important. And I would say that it's life-giving. In my personal example, and my return on investment has been in my relationships, especially with my family. And my favorite story, but not my favorite experience, was when my husband had stage 4 cancer. And it was an automatic deficit spiral, cried for hours, thought there was no cure. And the doctor said, you know, you got a 50-50 chance. So if you framed it on the positive side in the inquiry of how to get through that, it was probably my most desperate time that I used appreciative inquiry. And you know, when you have children and they ask you, is your dad going to die? Their dad going to die? You want to say, no, everything is going to be okay. And appreciative inquiry doesn't ignore problems and challenges. And it was that moment in time that I told Allie and Adam, actually it was just Allie at the time, that we were all going to die. So you got to meet people where you're at. But the generative nature of appreciative inquiry and the kind of questions you can ask get you moving forward, even though you can't promise everything's going to be okay. Everything is okay with Paul right now. He's through remission. He's doing fine.
Amazing.
But that probably is my life-giving story on appreciative inquiry.
And did you see that? I'm sure it had an impact not only on you, but on your kids too, right? I mean,
so if you could take appreciative inquiry down to a child's level, it's about positivity. I do remember when Paul was it was a long process to get him through the chemo, and we had to go back to the hospital after being gone for about a month. And I heard Adam, who was 10 at the time, ask Allie, who was 12, you know, Dad looks really bad. Is Dad going to die? And Allie, you know, I would say, copied what I said. She says, oh, come on, Adam, we're all going to die. You just have to be positive. So you could just see the shift from how she was using AI without really knowing it to help her little brother get through, you know, a really difficult time. But we were more resilient. And so that's probably my go-to personal story in my most desperate time that I used AI.
well, and your family's amazing, having met many of them. And I know, yeah, Paul's health journey is something that you really have brought AI to in lots of different ways. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.